Family, welcome back to another episode of the Black Business Warrior. My name is Clive Morrison. Today I'm here with my special guest, my man Poetics. You know what I'm saying? He got the business name. I don't want to call him the business name, you know what I'm saying? But you know, he out here doing business.
Right.
Y'all know how it is. You know, we here highlighting black men that's making money, making an impact in the community, right? How we actually executing that. So that's our goal with this podcast right here. So today, talking to my brother right here. This is my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? We be building all the time. It's just a train out there, man. You know what I'm saying? This part of the show, man. It's all good. Don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Pick up everything.
Pick up everything, right? It's just out there, right? You know what I'm saying? But we good money though.
No
so
doubt.
we want to talk about first. You know, he's so deep. This thing is my man do so much, right? It's crazy. You know, we was just talking off the air before about just before business, but today I want to talk about where you came from, right?
No doubt.
And then where you at now and where you trying to go, right? You know, and why are you doing all this? You know what I'm saying? So let's just start out. Just if you had to sum up Poetics, how would you sum it up?
Oh man, in a nutshell.
Give me a paragraph. Give me a couple of paragraphs.
Man, I would say I'm a very passionate individual. I have a strong spiritual inclination. I was raised Hebrew Israelite, very conscious family. I was raised in a very tight-knit community. You know, I was raised to know who I am, know that I'm a child of the Most High. I'm very conscious of our people, our plight, our placement, our goals, our drive. I'm an artist, spoken word artist, a business owner, but I honestly it's for the community, for us. Everything has to come with intention and purpose, and so I believe I'm a very intentional person. You know, I like to have fun just like everybody else, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean, I'm driven by purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, very passionate person. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's me.
Okay, that's what's up. You know, we're going to get deeper into that. One of the main things I always think about is that we got to have purpose, right? If we're just out here trying to get it for no reason, at the end of the day, we're going to get it. And then we're going to be like, why do I got it, right? So that's the main thing. Be driven by purpose, a reason why we're doing this. Now, I've met many artists. I'm not an artist myself. People be like, oh, you a business artist. But I'm not, I don't claim the artist title at all. So first, tell us about your art. And then tell us, how did you go from artist to business? Because I know I've seen a lot of artists having that hard transition to business because of, you know, perception of it's capitalism or it's just about making money or corrupting the art. So tell me about your art, and then how did you go from artist? How do you reconcile that artist and businessman?
All right, so I'm a spoken word artist, but I'm a writer. I'm a writer and a visionary. That's my art form. And you know, if you were asking me to put it blatant, clear, I feel like it's an art form to impact people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody is an artist. It depends on what your art form is. Like you said, you know, you're a businessman and, you know, you don't like to make that. But no, to run a company, to run business, there's an art form to it. You know what I mean? There's a science to it. There's a method to it. Whenever you run your business, it's a form of your expression. You might not expressing yourself verbally, but you're expressing your thoughts, your ideas, and it happens, the stage happens to be your business. You know what I mean? So I do feel like everything is art. You know what I mean? You heard that saying that life imitates art and art imitates life, and they both go hand in hand. You know what I mean? So it's very subjective. In terms of marrying that, coming, and it's I'm glad you said that, because it was a big thing for me to be able to use my art form and then make money doing it. You know what I mean? The first thing that you have to do is understand that you are bringing something of value. You know what I mean? The times it took for you to write something or create a musical piece, that time that's putting that, you know, you dedicated to it, the time that you invested, that is creating value in whatever you create. Your ability to impact people. A lot of times when we talk about, you know, the more, you know, commonly known art forms, you have the ability to impact people. You have the ability to influence them. You can give them hope. You can bring them up. You can inspire them. Those things have value. They might not have a quantifiable value, you know what I mean, offhand, but they have value. And so you as an artist, you have to see whatever you create and whatever you produce, and you have to see it as value. You know what I mean? And so once you understand that, the actually making a business out of it, you have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself about how commerce works. You know what I mean? We live in a time right now where it's different from the last probably 30, 40 years because you have the ability to have direct to consumer access. You know what I mean? So before, when you had an art form, you had to have someone place it on a platform in order for them to be able to see it, be able to them enjoy it, for them to be able to digest it. But now, because of social media, because of internet, because of those things, there is a direct-to-consumer access. And as an artist, if you're creative enough, you can find creative ways of selling your art. You can, monetize your art. And you can look no further than what, businesses are doing right now. They're advertising on Instagram. They're paying people, influencers, on Instagram because they know that they're going to get somebody's eye. Somebody's going to watch them. So just understanding those principles about, advertisement, publicity, putting things on a stage, on a platform. If you have the ability to transform your art into something that can be, expressed and then delivered, you have the ability to create a business around it. So in terms of, seeing, like, accepting money for it or asking for money for it, I know that's a tricky thing. It's always been a tricky thing for me too. Mm-hmm. Especially in the beginning. But like I said, once you realize that there's value behind it, it becomes easier for you to place a number on it. Something that you feel comfortable with, giving away, your skill, your talent, you know what I mean? So just understand that there's value in everything that, you create as an artist, you know what I mean? And it's like, it don't have to be, art is very subjective. So if you love it, someone might hate it, but that doesn't diminish its value. You know what I mean? It's something that you created that came from you, your expression. So, you know what I mean? Just seeing the value in it and then being able to be creative enough to put a marketing plan behind it and a distribution plan behind it. That's where the education comes in.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about creating value is that a lot of times the artists, I think that's the part where artists don't understand is creating that value. That there has to be a marketing, because sometimes we don't see the value, and in business they call it educating the market, right? Mm-hmm. Letting the market understand, hey, there's value here. Let me put it in front of you. Infomercial is just an hour of showing you value of what this is, right? They're not even talking about the product anymore. They're just like, yo, this is what the product is valuable, why it's valuable, all the value around it. So when you talk about those things, we don't hype up those intangibles. I'm going to make you feel good. I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to have something that's beautiful to look at for you to wake up on, right? When those things, I'm not an artist, but I see art that I like, and that's the thing. Going from there, right, now, we didn't talk about, that's the solo model, and we could go about scaling that, but I want to talk about your trucking business, which you've been endeavoring in on, and I've been watching it grow, and I'm like, yo, I'm just amazed at how you just put your energy, because knowing that you're the artist, right, seeing that you putting your energy and growing this business has been amazing to me. So tell us about the business, tell us why'd you get into it, how did you get into it, and where's it at now? Okay,
no doubt. So one of the things I always say whenever I get on the stage is, I'm not an entertainer. You know what I mean? The goal and the purpose is always to impact people with life in general, whether I was an artist or not. Your goal in life should be to positively impact somebody else's life, and then allow for them to do that to you, right? So that if I start with that as a baseline, my art has always been to impact people, to make them feel, to make them, give them an understanding, give them clarity, something along those lines. But because of my, I acknowledge the plight of our people. I acknowledge what we've gone through and where we're headed. That's always been a goal, to positively impact our people. And it got to a certain point as you just start looking out into the world and you start seeing, the state of the economy, the state of politics, and the state of the community. You see these things. There's a need to impact our people in different levels. And so at one point I was the quote unquote artist, and I impacted people through my words and through my spoken word and my books and my writings and things like that. Now I wanted to be able to positively impact people in a very economic way. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times we have this push right now because, just entrepreneurial push for people to start businesses and people to, become economically and financially independent and things of that nature. But one thing I've always, held dear to me is like, it's not just about what you can do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have a talent, if you're going to have, this capacity to create or make sure that you are able to pass it along to somebody else. And what I always say is the ability to facilitate opportunity. You know what I mean? Because there's so many things going on in the world, a lot of people don't see the issue as being so big that they can't impact it. It's like, I can't stop what the government's doing. I can't stop what the police force is doing. We're not asking you to stop anything. But if you change your purpose, if you change your ambition, you can impact. And if one person impacts and two people impact it, eventually you create a culture where we are impacting each other in a positive way. It's like being able to create a system for yourself that generates opportunities for other people, that circulates resources, circulates funds, circulates jobs, and everyone can't be a boss. Everyone can't own a business. You know what I mean? There has to be people who operate. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the value in that, you know what I'm saying? It gives you a different idea. We use the word business, but it's just cooperative economics. It's the ability to facilitate resources. It's the ability to facilitate opportunities. It's the ability for you to give other people the opportunity to impact their lives. So trucking company. I'll tell you, the trucking company, it's exciting to run a business like the trucking company. There's so many different facets to it. There's so many different variables. There's so many things that you have to, be aware of. And has been a challenge. It's been a challenge, but it also has presented an opportunity for me to give people employment. For brothers that, number one, don't want to work within this, this European power structure. Giving people ability to make money that don't want to sign up in an application to work a 9 to 5 and things like that. One of my drivers right now, he has a kid on the way, you know what I'm saying, and he wanted to leave a life behind, you know what I'm saying, and all he needed was that opportunity.
Word.
And that's why I started a company, so that I could be in that position to facilitate that opportunity. And so that's fulfilling for me, you know what I mean? So besides the monetary gain, the money you make from it, there's that fulfillment of being able to give people opportunities. The trucking company itself, man, it's been up. It's always gonna be, a challenge, just because it's something new. It's something that in itself is challenging. You know what I mean? There's so many different components, like I said. But at the end of the day, it's fun. It's interesting. It's moving pieces. It's being a part of something. You know what I mean? And at this point right now, we have probably 6 people in our team that have different responsibilities. But it's such an art form, and it's so crazy. Cause I'm just now looking at it as you asked me this question. But the way that everyone gels with each other, and the way that everyone compliments off of each other and moves off each other, like, this is your responsibility. And once you complete your responsibility, it gets passed on to the next person. And it literally is an art. If you look at art the way I look at it, it is art, the way people move with each other and compliment each other and take care of responsibilities. And it's like throwing a no-look pass. And you just know your man's is going to be behind you with the slam. You know what I mean?
Word.
So it definitely feels like an art form. In terms of the day-to-day things, like industry, in terms of the industry, we are being impacted by like the fuel costs right now. So that created a challenge. You know what I mean? There was at one point, there was a shortage on trucks, a shortage on computer chips. So those challenges become part of your day-to-day, you know what I mean? Okay. And we talked about it before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to spend too much time putting out fires, but what I've learned is 95% of business is finding solutions.
Word.
Finding solutions. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so
How long you been doing it? How long you been in the truck
So I've been we started the company in August. I got my MC in September, and I've been on the road since then.
Okay, so less than a year.
Yeah, yep, less than a year.
Congratulations, brother.
Appreciate it.
And that's why I say that, yo, I've been watching it from the growth. You know, he just had an idea, was talking about it, and you know, and we just build it. That's why I wanted to bring him on, because you know, we want to bring everybody at every stage of business, and look how quickly he impacted all of that, right? Look how quickly we got that through. And saying what the art form part was that, yeah, it is an art. It was just seeing that, but you're the director, as the CEO, as the founder, to watch it and see what's going on, right? So learning all that, we learned so much. What is a challenge that you would give the people starting a business? Like, yo, you know, because people are stuck in their heads. They're like, they don't really know what to do. Right. What's a challenge of business that you would say, hey, go out here and do this if you're going to get started? What's something you could challenge the audience to do? Because we like people to take action here.
Like, just immediately?
Immediately. What can they do after they like, yo, they pumped up. They like, yo, I need some inspiration, man. What they gonna do? What they gonna do when they get out of here? What's a challenge you see that you were stuck in?
I'll say, I mean, there's all right, so I'm gonna answer it in two parts, right? So the first thing I would tell people is find a problem and then find a solution. Word. Find a problem that people have every single day. You know what I'm saying? Find, you know, anything. And then create a creative solution for it, and then market your solution. You know what I mean? Word. If you are genuinely looking to give people help, if you're genuinely looking to find solutions for people, then the money is gonna come in. It's gonna, because people gonna pay for solutions to problems that they have. You know what I mean? So that'd be one thing. And what was the other part of the question you said?
Well, you gave the challenge, right? Go ahead and do something. Now, let me because you answered that question. The last question is, if you were starting all over again, what would you do different?
Oh man. So that's actually kind of interesting. So I'll give you a little background. We walked into the trucking industry was strictly self-taught. You know what I mean? We researched some things, watched some YouTube videos, you know, just saw what the industry was presenting. It's a $790 billion industry. Word. You know what I mean? So it was a walking in, but once you get into it, your finances become, you know, now they're under a microscope. Now your driving record, your criminal record is under. I actually got denied for financing at one point in time because of a misdemeanor I got back in 2018. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Bird. And so some of those things. So just to tell you, what would I do different? I would be more. Man, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like, I would say do more research, but some of the things we went through, we couldn't even been prepared for.
You had to take action, right?
Yeah, you just had to go through it. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And I would say to everyone, if you don't have tough skin, if you have to have persistence, you have to be able to endure certain things. You have to be able to talk yourself up, because a lot of this stuff is mental. A lot of if you get denied, if you get rejections, if you fall down, if you fail, like and man, I'll tell you some stories if we have some time, but we ran into a couple obstacles, a few ones that were, you know, some big blows. So you have to be able to have the fortitude to keep going. So like I said, to do anything different, I don't think I would do anything different. I would just tell everyone to educate themselves on all aspects of the industry that you want to get into. And another big thing, when we talk about business, I don't know if you're going to ask me this question, but it popped in my head. Yo, for our people, there's hand over fist exchange. Like, you know, you have a product, you sell it. You have a product, you sell it. I'm not classifying that as business. You know what I'm saying? Word. That's more exchange, that's more commerce. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But for people like who are ambitious and have that fortitude, have that desire, that passion, look to get involved in industries. Because industries give you ability to impact on a global scale. You know what I mean? Word. And it gives you it widens your reach. It widens your gap, your expansion. It expands your reach. So I would say for anyone, do some research on ways that you can impact on a global scale.
All right. Yo, listen, man, this is my brother. You know he gonna be back. You know I'm getting him in here. Yo, listen, man, because we want to see where you at on the next step of the journey. How you come back. You know what I'm saying? So we got to bring you back on. I appreciate you coming, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Making it happen, man. You already know, man. Yo, it's always love, man. You know what I'm saying? We talk on the daily because we just be building our business. All these brothers that you be seeing coming through here, you know what I'm saying? We be trying to build so that we can just have this network of black men, you know what I'm saying, building. And for the people, you know what I'm saying? Because we build with each other, but it's for the people. You know what I'm saying? It's for the community. It's to be able to give jobs, make that impact, and leave that legacy, all right? So, Black Businessman Warrior, where can they find you at, or they don't find you nowhere?
So I'll say this, _poetics Instagram. Check me out.
All right, that was up. Peace.
Right on time.
My man. I know sometimes I get a little long-winded.
Nah, we good.
If y'all want to do a part 2, that's fine.
That
was solid. I think it was good, like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's how we be trying to keep them. Just short and then what's called. Then we, like I said, just keep everybody coming.
I think that's a great 25 minutes. That's good timing. Yeah, man. But yo, we done been through some things with this trucking thing though, bro. But I ain't gonna hold you. We got some partnerships. We got some people who are some trucks that we're dispatching.
Yeah.
So they underneath the Rebel Trucking MC. So it's going. It's going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making a bank just yet, but
nah. Yo, listen. You know what I tell people all the time though? That's the biggest problem. People be focused on the money.
Right.
They be like, yo, we ain't making no bread. I be like,
focus on the vision.
You gotta focus on the vision. You building right now. Forget the money. Are you eating?
Right,
Can you live? That's all the thing. That's the only thing you gotta be after. Can I live? But as far as like I ain't seeing no money and all that. That's a hard. Yo, you in a business. You know what I'm saying?